Alright guys, so hey listen, if you want to see a parapsychologist debunk real paranormal videos, then stick around. And welcome guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Phillip Page. Hey listen, before we get into the topic of today, if you like music to meditate to, or to sleep to, or to pray to, or just to relax to, then come check out my other channel, Cerebrium. This is music that I have handpicked, that I have attuned to different frequencies to activate certain parts of the brain to help you relax, to help you concentrate, and to help you deal with day-to-day stuff. Alright guys, so head over there, subscribe. Now let's get on to it. As many of you may have noticed, I have been starting to post shorts onto YouTube recently. Part of the reason of this is I'm trying to get your feedback. Hey, let me know if you think it's real or if it's fake. Now I'm sure that all of you are asking yourselves, hey Phil, when are you going to start posting sessions again? Don't worry about that. As a matter of fact, I'm working on one right now for next week. If you like Vikings, you may like this one, as it has to do with the Viking Leif Erikson. Okay, so that's going to be next week. Also, just a real quick guys, I have a really special video for you that'll be at the end of the month. So it'll be the Sunday before Halloween. Alright guys? Okay, so now, on to the fun stuff. Recently, I posted this video onto YouTube Shorts. Now, some of you weren't quite sure if it was real or if it was fake, so here's the deal, just like last time. We will watch the entire clip from the original creator first, then we will see my version of it. Then we are going to examine the original video so that you can see what I saw, and I can explain to you why I think what I think about the video, and then I'll show you how I did mine. Now keep in mind, this is only my opinion, and I am only critiquing the video, not the creator or the channel that hosted the video. Okay guys, so let's do this. Here's the original. And now, here is mine. Okay, let's examine. I need to apologize to you. Since starting this whole video, I've come down with a really massive, gnarly head cold. So I apologize if my face starts to leak throughout this portion of the video. But let's go ahead and get into it. So the first thing I want to point out right here is just look at the shot itself. If this is supposed to be a security camera, then security cameras are normally as high up in their space as they can be, usually up against the wall and the ceiling right in there. We can take a look at this shot. Where the shot is at, it's focused mainly on the desk portion, but if you take a look from the monitor how high up the ceiling goes, the camera is not to that same level. So this tells me that this is on either some sort of a tripod or a lighting stand or something. And of course we have the green look, which I've talked about before, that usually if this would be actual night vision, it would be black and white. But additionally, if you take a look to the very top here, I believe this is a ceiling light that is on, that is illuminating down below. So that's where the light is coming from, and not from the infrared light that's normally around the lens that you would see in a security camera. So let's go ahead and play it forward. Okay, so let's back up just a little bit. So we can see that the chair has very deliberate movements. meaning very deliberate start and stop. Well, let me go back a little bit. Well, maybe I can go back further. Okay, here we go. Okay, so that tells me, for one, I don't think this is I don't think there's a string or any type of wire or rig attached to it. I think what they did was old school stop motion animation. And I'll tell you why. Okay. The very deliberate start and stop, if you're using a string or if you're using some sort of like an air gun, the chair is going to have some sort of a wobbly movement to it before or after. And also, I think that to kind of help disguise the effect, they have the scene very lightly fading in and out to make it look like the lights are flickering. But if you take a look up top here, the light is not flickering. Okay, so we have that. Now, okay, so let's take a look at the screen's flickering. See, I don't know if that is... I mean, yes, it has a glow around it, but I don't think it's actually illuminating the area around it. Because if you notice how where the shadows are at, they don't change. Like this shadow is still here. So again, there's a glow that's added, which is easy to do, but there's no real illumination going on. So that's another thing that makes me think. Now this part here, where the chair is scooting, oh, excuse me. So if we take a look at how the chair, as it kind of leans forward a bit, and it follows this arc. It starts from here and follows that arc. And then we have that wobble that I was talking about. I'm thinking what they did was there was a mat that was created. And I think you actually have someone standing up over here. And I think that's a wire rig type situation that has caused that. So it's possible. I mean, one person could do this. I think it's possible, though, they have two people that are in on this. Another reason why I think this first part was stop motion animation. Stop motion animation, you don't get a motion blur in it unless you add it later on. A motion blur will naturally happen to anything that's in movement. Like if you slow this down, you're going to see a blur behind my hand or around my hand. I don't think you're really getting that with this chair when it moves. The image has high compression, which gives it a degraded look. But I don't think there's any motion blur compared to when it lifts up. See, we can see that blur going on, right, especially right there. We see the blur taking place, so that's why I think that was possibly... Yeah, see, like right there? That desk is not illuminated. It's the glow, but it's not illuminated. And I can show you how that was all done. Alright, so, okay. So let's get into the my portion of it.
So in order to pull this off, I knew that I would have to use a few different tricks. The first was to obtain heavy-grade black thread from Jo-Ann Fabrics. This would be used on the chair. The next thing that I had to do was mount my SJ-Cam sports camera inside a ring light as high up as possible to mimic the look of a security camera. Then I had to grab a photo light to use for the flickering monitor effect. The first thing I had to do was tie the thread to the base of the chair so that I could pull it in the direction that I wanted. Then, I simply had to film the scene, keeping in mind where my placement would be, as I would have to edit around this later on in the process. Once filming was done, it was a matter of putting the video into Adobe After Effects. I downgraded the 4K video to 620 by 480 and changed the frame rate from 60 frames a second to 15, as most security cameras run at this speed. I simply cut myself out of the scene and blended what are known as matte lines so that all of the puzzle pieces would blend together properly. Then, I added a white layer for the laptop screen. I simply cut it down to size to fit the laptop, and then I added a glow whenever the screen effect was taking place. I made sure to sync it up with the real light flashing that I did earlier to make the effect look more believable. I then added a green filter to the scene to finish off the look, and that was it.
Alright gang, so that's it for this video. If you like this kind of content, let me know, put it down in the comment sections below. In the meantime, if you want to see real paranormal investigations, check out this video right here.